What do you say when you're leaving the familiar streets of your cities that you've lived in for the last 8 years? The place where you've had some of your best friends, your best experiences, the place you moved back to when your whole life was falling apart, the place when you went back to for healing. Now fully healed of all of the weird stuff in my past, I come back to this city. I grew. I executed a plan. I worked my businesses. I started some successful YouTube channels. I shared my thoughts and my knowledge. But what do you say when you finally leave that town you've lived in for so long and start getting out into the world to have a first real adventure?
Well, today is the day. We are leaving State College, and this is kind of the time the training wheels come off. All of the systems have been tested over the last several months, and it's been almost, 11 weeks. I wanted to get out of here a lot sooner than that, but some things kept me here, and I think it's probably for the better, honestly. But we'll see what happens as we move on further down the road and just kind of see what adventures lie. So the first destination is going to be Erie for a couple of days. I was thinking about doing like a tour of Presque Isle Park, but I'm not sure I'm going to. I just need to drop off a few things from storage, pick up a few things from storage, and get the oil changed up there at my friend's garage. And that's really the first step. And then from there, I'm going to plan. I'm either going to go across 80 or 90 actually into basically cut across there and hit Chicago at like 2 a.m. or something. Once I'm past Chicago, I don't care about timing, but as long as I drive through Chicago between midnight and 2, that's when I like to do Chicago. Or will I go south and go through and around Columbus? And those are kind of the two directions I'm looking at. Or I could go way nuclear and go way south, but I kind of want to hit through Wyoming before it's too cold. It's getting a little cold there now, but it's not too cold. But I want to get through Wyoming a little bit, and then I'll head on down to the deserts after that. But this is the day, and we are starting our journey out. Just have a couple small errands in town, and then we're on the way.
I had to stop and work, so I stopped at this nice little rest area and took a little walk. These are the things you can see at the rest areas.
Well, this is the first morning, and I don't usually wake up at 6 in the morning, but when I'm overnighting in a Walmart parking lot, I think that that's appropriate. Get up as early as I can. We're starting out with making some coffee, and we're going to go ahead and shoot some film for this video here. This is officially the first full day. I left yesterday. I got up in the morning yesterday at a friend's house, and I had could make the coffee, could use the restrooms, and today's kind of the first day of roughing it. And we're in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania right now. I have a lunch meeting, and then I'm heading down to my friend's house a little bit down south. We're changing the oil in the van, and then I'm going to be heading out towards central Ohio next on the way further west.
I have to keep up the mindset that this is not a vacation. This is my life now. That means finding places to work. When I'm in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania area, this little peninsula park is not even well known among residents in the area. Way back at the back finger keys of the man-made Edinburgh Lake lies Peninsula Park. Of course, it's a cold and rainy day today. Actually, it was the first time I've actually had to use the heater during the day. And I hadn't even left Pennsylvania yet. It was like 40, and it wasn't the fact it was 40. It was the 40 and the rain and the drizzle and the miserableness. So I come up here to Peninsula Park, where I always get a good, strong internet signal. You overlook the lake, and very few people are back here. It's very, very peaceful. So if you are in the Edinburgh area, this is an excellent day park spot. There's playgrounds for kids. There's a volleyball net. There's 2 separate pavilions. During the summer, there's a porta potty over there. Winter, not so much. Gotta bucket and bottle it, I guess. But this is a good spot for me to work. So prior to my lunch meeting, I had a good half a day's work right here. Day camping, of course, no night camping allowed here, but day camping, perfectly fine.
Well, we're off. I'm about to leave the state of Pennsylvania. Bye-bye, moo cow. Little friend's driveway. Got myself powered up, charged up. And now we are heading out.
Well, for the first time in a few years, I'm crossing the state lines and we're heading over to Ohio. Now, I wanted to stop and get some gas, but I didn't find a good gas station. Fortunately, I didn't, because gas in Ohio was actually the cheapest that I've seen going across the whole country. You guys in Ohio, actually count yourselves lucky. Even though it looks like the gas pumps are going to make you poor, it is the cheapest that I've seen so far in my entire journey. So, here's a good gas station. Let's stop here, and then after this, the next stop is a good friend's house that I have not seen for a number of years. He's now in Ohio, right along the route, and so that's where we're going to stop next. Having finished an excellent visit with a friend, it is now time to move across country. We're actually going to move across really fast. We're going to watch over the next couple minutes of this video the countryside move from trees to plains to cornfields to sagebrushes and desert. Why? My journey is actually going to begin when I'm in the West. It's not going to begin from out here necessarily. Why? Because there's actually dear friends I need to visit out in Wyoming. And once I get there and spend about a week out that way, then I will get a chance to slow down a little bit, see a whole lot more, and actually start bringing you guys some other content. But it's always fascinating driving across country. This is what you miss flying in a plane or just not paying attention to the road. You miss the changing of the scenery. I went from Wednesday being in the middle of woods to Friday being in sagebrush and desert, in mountains and plains. It's very interesting. It's a very fascinating sight, and you should crisscross the country by car at least once in your lifetime.
Well, we're moving across the country pretty quick, and there's a Nebraskan sunrise. So I left, I think I left Ohio. I was visiting friends Wednesday. It's now Friday morning, and I'm most of the way there. I used to make this drive in just in a day or two, but I also didn't used to stop and work and live stream and get other things down, and I'm not exactly taking it slow. I'm just pausing to work and making sure I get more than a few cat naps across the way. So feel perfectly fine and refreshed. I'm going to hang out in this rest stop for just long enough to cook up some bacon, eggs, and some coffee, and then we're going to move right on down the road.
Well, we've arrived in our destination in Wyoming. Where am I? Well, I'll tell you guys where I'm at in the next video. In the meantime, I'm greeted by the nice deer there on the left of the screen. I just had to stop here, got a little bit of work done while I was waiting for my friend to get off of work, and he was telling me where to park for at his house because he had just moved into here and I didn't know exactly where he was at. But regardless, I'm now here, and it feels odd being back to the town where I used to live for a number of years. All of the interesting things I had, and curiously have a few different friends right in this very close block. So that's actually pretty cool. So I was able to actually meet some people without jumping in the car. And the reality is the town is small enough, I usually didn't have to jump in the van at all. I walked most places I needed to walk. The church I visit is just 6 blocks down the street from here. And the people that I knew, they were very gracious and gave some rides, or we just met up at places that were fairly local to where I was at. I got a chance to get up there and just kind of see a lot of the different sites, including some sites that I hadn't actually visited a whole lot. But anyway, this is where we are now. Thanks for coming along, guys. We will see you next time on Tux Traveler, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and hit that notification bell. That'll always help us out. Thanks for watching, and we will see you a little bit further on down the road.